as if you don't know who I am already, but some of you don't, some of you do. So I'm Nicki Edgell. I'm a trained nutritional therapist, a clinical Psycho-Neuro-Immunologist, and that isn't easy for me to say, and also a Nickis wellness consultant. I'm incredibly passionate about helping people back to health and vitality and being all that they can be, having the lives that they truly deserve to have. So you might wonder what that long word that I said, I'm going to shorten it to P&I, it's much easier. It's a science-based and medically integrated practice. It's an approach to healing for chronic long-term health issues, so very complex issues. And to put it in a nutshell, maybe you might call me a stress detective. I'm really rooting out the cause of the cause of the cause of the cause of why symptoms are presenting themselves. And the focus is really on all the different pathways in the body, so the immune system, the endocrine system, the nervous system, the hormonal system, all the different stress systems, the fight-flight, and the role that our modern environment plays in our health today, because it's about what it is to be human, really. Okay, and how we're designed to thrive. So I'm going to talk to you today about the stress connection and energy. So what has good health got to do with energy? I just want you to ponder on that. What has stress got to do with the mind and our physical health? Yeah? Why would you think it might affect both of those? And actually, how are we programmed for survival? So let's take you back a little way, back to when we were living in nature. This is where we've all come from. Whether you like to think so or not, we all have come from this place. And humans have been evolving over millions and millions of years, living with nature, living as nature intended. The trouble is, in the last 50 to 100 years, we've made some incredible changes. We're not living in the same environmental conditions anymore. And the problem with this, you might think, well, that's okay, we've got conveniences, we've got comfort, we've got homes, we've got clean water, all of this sort of thing. You might think that's okay, but it's really not okay, because our genes and the mechanisms that protect us from danger, our stress system, that fight-flight system, that is primal. That has not changed, okay? And living out of sync with our natural rhythms and our natural environment is causing us to have a huge stress. So you can imagine that stress system, that fight-flight system, is being activated all the time, inappropriately, yeah? So instead of there being a lion running at you, or a warring tribe coming towards you, that you either need to fight or flee from, or freeze if it's really, really dangerous, we now have other dangers, virtual dangers. So we have our sixth sense, which is our immune system internally. We have money worries. That's a stress, is it not? Yeah? Yeah. So what do you think it's going to set off? The same fight-flight pathway. Okay. And the problem with this is, as soon as your stress system is set off, the body has to go into action to divert energy to the immune system and to the brain. If you think about the brain, it's got literally half of your entire number of cells is lodged in this area here. Okay? And it needs to be the computer that it is in times of danger. It's all about survival, is it not? Yeah? The body will work for you to survive at all costs. Whatever you throw at it, it will do its level best to survive. So that's going to need an awful lot of energy. At the same time, imagine if you have got a lion coming at you or a warring tribe, you might actually have a physical injury. So the primal system has also got another part to it which is activated at the same time, which is the immune system. That also takes enormous energy, masses and masses of energy. So you can imagine that other parts of the body need to have energy diverted. It's not like you're going to stop and have loads and loads and loads of food to feed this energy need, yeah, because you're not going to stop if there's a lion coming at you. So actually we don't need to digest in stress situations. So the digestive system will be affected. It will be down-regulated. Energy won't go to the gut. It will go to the brain and the immune system. At the same time, when the immune system's activated, a whole pathway of inflammatory cytokines is activated. That's a really important part because we need an inflammation to go attack whatever it is that's invading our bodies. So inflammation is always in the picture. And that takes loads of energy too. So you can see this cascade is really clear actually, that if you've got your stress system activated all the time, if you're very hyperactive and worried about the world and all of there around you, you're not going to have energy. And an energy is needed for relaxation. In fact, we need more energy to relax than to contract. So if you're lacking in energy, you're going to be in a contracted state. So what happens when we're contracted? Muscles are tight, we get pain, aches, we can't sleep. Why would you sleep if you've got a lion coming at you? Yeah? That wouldn't be sensible, would it? So you want to be alert to all the dangers. So it's another reason why people don't sleep, but they don't sleep as well because they haven't got energy. So I've mentioned digestive problems. And then we've got all the mental anxiety problems. People start to get into a real fear pattern and anxiety start to proliferate. And then of course energy being lacking, the body's got a fantastic mechanism for that. Makes you depressed. Okay, I'm going to make you sit down, I'm going to make you not want to socialise, go inward, conserve energy. It's all about energy. And of course, if you've got your immune system activated all the time, you're going to see that falling over time as well. So you're going to get a depressed immune system, so you're going to maybe have symptoms there as well. And degenerative diseases, poor memory, all of those kind of symptoms that a lot of people, maybe even in the room, or certainly people that we know, are presenting with all the time. Where do they go for remedies for that? The doctor, yeah? Take a pill for a headache. Take a pill for I can't sleep, you know, or maybe actually nowadays we are getting into more mindfulness, so maybe people are getting more into meditation and yoga and that sort of thing, which is great, but we've got these constant stresses. So this is modern life. This doesn't look anything like where we've come from. And as you can see, we've also got other added stresses. We've got the whole Wi-Fi, computer age that we're in, and we are actually vibrating at a very, very different frequency to those things. So electricity alone is going to disturb our body's frequency because we are an electromagnetic body. Yeah? So anything that's disturbing that is going to be a stress, going to be bringing us back into stress again. And we're going to make perhaps inappropriate or not so positive choices because we need energy. So that's why a lot of people will go for the carbohydrates because their brain is saying, alarm, 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 I need more energy. And of course, it's very quick when you're consuming those sorts of food to bring energy, but of course you're going to have these energy swings as a consequence. And here we've got, a lot of people suffering from inflammatory pain. Yeah, I'm taking a lot of over-the-counter painkillers. So what are our primal needs? If we go back and think, well, we are still essentially the same beings as we've always been, what are they? Well, they're very simple, actually. Oops. Okay, we need water. We've talked about that in Global Wellness. We need sleep. We need air. We need sunshine. We need to move our bodies and choose good foods to feed ourselves with. And actually, these are all represented by Nickis products. If you think about the wellness home, we've actually created for you at the back of the room the equivalent of a wellness home. So all the different products that you might find in your home, in your kitchen, you might find water and the nutritionals. In your bathroom, you might find the shower. In the bedroom, you're going to find the sleeping system. And all sorts of other products as well. We've got the light and the air here as well. So we've got all the things that we need for our primal needs in the wellness home. And I do encourage you to, you know, have an experience and have a look at all of these things. So, looking at, I don't know if anybody's heard of Maslow. He was a psychologist in the 1940s, and he came up with what actually in modern day life we need as human beings, a hierarchy of needs. And if you think about everything that I've spoken about so far, is on this base level, yeah? Just physiological, breathing, water, food, sex, sleep, homeostasis, that's balance in the body, and letting go of the waste products. That's just the bottom layer, okay? But actually we need much more, because we're much more developed human beings now. So we need safety, security, resources. We need family and connection and belonging, and we need to feed our mind with, you know, feeling that self-esteem and confidence and achievement and respect of others and being respected by others. And then we also need creativity and spontaneity and, you know, really sort of being in your greatness, as I call it, you know, really being the best you can be, who you are. We're all individually different from each other, but we've all got something to be creative about. And I'm just going to ask you to just reflect again back, like you just did before, not to have a chat about it, but just internally now, just think, you know, actually, those 5 pillars of health that you were thinking about, that actually fits exactly into Maslow's hierarchy of needs. The bottom bit being the body, the next bit being the finances, family, the mind, society. And just again, just reflect back in, is your life in balance? Have you got all of your needs being met? And I'm just going to focus on the mind pillar at the moment, because in my view, the mind, the power of the mind, really is the key to everything. I don't know if anybody's aware of Mr. Emoto's experiments with water. Has everybody in the room come across those? A few nods, a few people nodding. I mean, they were the most amazing experiments, and they really identified just how thoughts, words, can influence molecular structure and produce these different patterns in water. So just imagine how powerful that is. You know, how powerful your mind is in creating the reality of your body and everything that it projects. If you think about it, we are 70 to 80% water. So if your thoughts are thinking, oh, lack or pain or whatever, then that's going to be the patterning of your water molecules. So you actually have a lot of power to think positive thoughts, to create the world that you really want for yourself. So the good news is that you are in control of what's coming to you. And the bad news is you are in control of what's coming to you. And I want you to just sit with that thought for a minute. You know, we really are in control. We can think a better life for ourselves, and we can create that. And this little equation here is just to say that intention and the mechanism will create the results you want. But actually the mechanism isn't the important thing. It's really about setting your sat-nav, if you like. Set what you would love for yourself. What in your heart would you love for yourself in all those 5 pillars of health? And set that intention 100% and then be guided, the mechanism will follow after. So it's back to that small little things, you know, small little things, everyday choices. So it's not just about what food you're putting in your body, it's not just about what fluids you're putting in your body, it's about what your mind is thinking, you know. And there's so many lovely techniques now with, and we have somebody in the room that does a wonderful technique called the Sedona method. We've got, you know, we've got EFT, we've got, you know, all sorts of mechanisms. Our mindfulness, everybody knows the word mindfulness now. So we can, calming our minds to really go inward and think, what do I really want for myself, and how can I create that, therefore, by setting my intention. So I just wanted to end by just giving you a brief story, which is my story. How did I come to be standing here in front of you and talking about P&I and also talking about Nickis? How did that come about? Well, I had a long history throughout my life of fairly poor health, which led me to become a nutritional therapist. And that worked pretty well for me for quite a while because, you know, I was able to get my gut working a bit better, and that really affected my mind because I did suffer from a lot of physical ailments like asthma and also eczema and then also depression, quite a bit of depression. And so that pretty much got resolved. And then I had a very, very long period of stress in my life. And at the end of that, my nervous system, you can imagine the fight-flight system that I talked to you about, it was working overtime for 2 solid years, probably even longer, but definitely a very intense period. And the body literally won't have enough energy. You can't sustain that. So at the end, when it was finally resolved, the issue, my body said, okay, take a break. And my husband, who's here, calls it my gap year. So yeah, you have to sit down and you have to recover. Yeah, so that's what happened. And as I was recovering, Nickis popped into my world. I wasn't looking for it. It just, I just answered an email I would never normally answer, and went along to a talk and saw this amazing bit of kit here, this sleeping system. And I had had a year of insomnia at this stage. And I don't know if anybody has slept poorly, but insomnia is so debilitating. You can't believe that you could spend a whole night awake, but yeah, I did, and I did for pretty much a year. The only few times I slept, I had to, you know, move my body an awful lot. I would go for a run or shake or whatever it was, and I would have maybe the odd night's sleep. But essentially, I took one look at this and thought, I need one of those. So this sleeping system completely changed my life. Within a few months, my energy was way back, higher than it had ever been before. My mental state was, my clarity of thought was much better. And then I discovered the P&I course, and I just wanted to understand what on earth had gone on so that I could be in service and help other people really with chronic stress. And my experience of this is that it calms the nervous system. It's an amazing calmer. So you can have better sleep. And I don't know if anybody knows, but one night of poor sleep, if you went to the doctor and had a blood test the next day, you would be presenting as a pre-diabetic. Yeah? The body goes into such alarm when it's not sleeping that the glucose in the bloodstream is all over the place. You know, and your immune system is depressed by about 60%. So you can imagine getting sleep right is absolutely paramount to health, and I would not be without my sleep system. And whenever I go away on holiday and I come back to it, it's just, you kind of realise all over again just how wonderful it is. So again, I do encourage you in the breaks, at lunchtime, we do have a system that you can just go and lie on. Have a try, yeah, enjoy it. Okay. So, if I can invite Ursula from